back to the YouTube channel Pro Enzo Vids, and tonight's video is a big one because it's basically, you know, in the lead up to a finals match this weekend, which is so crucial for both sides. But pretty much going to be talking about how this side can stop this side during the prelims, and you know, obviously it's a big game because whoever wins this game goes to their first grand final in some time, and obviously the loser is out for good. But this is my thoughts on how the Warriors, or as everyone says now, the Wars, and how they can somehow cause an upset and beat the Broncos on Saturday night at Suncorp. So I guess a lot of people are writing off the Warriors here only because Broncos at Suncorp getting the week off is a big advantage here, which is true. It is. But I think with what the Warriors have proven and shown this year, they can unsettle teams, I feel like. And I think in big stages where the Broncos have all the pressure on them, really, it could really crumble badly if I don't get it right. But before I do get into my full thoughts on how the Warriors can do it, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. My goal is to get to 3,800 subscribers by the end of September, so literally only like another 18 away. I checked last time, like 18 subs away from 3,700. That's my goal. So yeah, please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. But yeah, look, the Wars, it's great to see them back in this stage again. You know, it's obviously very great, and I'm happy that well, look, as a neutral in this game, I don't really mind who wins, but it'd be cool that the Warriors did win though. But look, even though I think the Broncos are pretty much setting themselves up for success in the grand final and getting there to the big stage, I do reckon there's a few pointers that you can point out to see how the Warriors can win. So number one. Okay, number one. So number one is the very first one I'll get into and how the Warriors can win. And look, it's a tough one for the Warriors to, I guess, achieve here, but it's definitely not impossible. And I think they have to win the forward pack battle against the Broncos, first of all. Look, the Broncos have a great forward pack, don't get me wrong. They've got Flegler and Haas up front. Billy Walsh is so underrated at hooker. The back rows are Ricky and Capble, which both of them have proven all year that they're consistent and can do a job at any time. And as for Patrick Carrigan, well, wow, what a season he's had. He's improved out of sight. Seriously, an Origin player now, probably an Australian player soon as well, full-time. And no, if he doesn't get lock of the year, I'll be shocked, I think. But yeah, look, you look at their forward pack, it's just, you know, world-class, and they're all playing for each other. And obviously, Haas and Carrigan are the main conductors, I feel like, in that forward pack, which is where the Warriors need to stop them. So I reckon the Warriors need to limit the impact of what Patrick Carrigan has on the team, first of all, because Carrigan has a good offload in him, like a late offload in the tackle. So the Warriors got to really wrap the ball up when Carrigan runs it up, and got to watch for that late offload that gains momentum, because once Carrigan offloads the ball, they seem to know how to shift the ball out to Reece Walsh, who ends up making a line break and then goes and finds, I don't know, Staggs or Farnworth or Arthurs on his right or left side shoulder. So yeah, I think you got to really watch the Carrigan late offloads, because I think he's like top 5 or at least in the top 10, or he's somewhere there for the most offloads this year for a player. So it says a lot. And I think the Warriors need to contain that. Look, the Warriors' defense this year has been really good. It's been really good, actually. It's been a big improvement from the last couple of years. And I think, you know, if they can somehow nullify and keep low of the Carrigan offloads, then they have a chance of, you know, limiting the opportunities of what Reynolds and Walsh can make off the back of those offloads. So watch them too. And Payne Haas is a beast. We know that. Like, he obviously makes meters. He's a meter eater at the club. He's got a late offload as well. So pretty much in general, the Warriors need to just contain the offloads and make tackles, and just watch where the ball is in hand from Haas or Carrigan. That's the big thing for me. I've noticed at the Broncos is their offloads, and Haas and Carrigan are two of the biggest conductors in terms of offloading late. So got to stop that. But yeah, look, I think with guys like AFB, Mitch Barnett, Zavaga, Curran, it's a good crop of forwards there. And Jackson Ford, I can't forget Jackson Ford, so underrated too, and has improved out of sight, and probably is one of the best signings of the year, if I'm being honest. And see, that's a good enough forward pack to compete with the Broncos forward pack, I feel like, because the last time these two sides played, players were out for both sides, I believe, when they played in Napier, I think, in New Zealand, and that was during Origin round. So this time we get to see the pretty much both teams are nearly at full strength packs there. So it's a good contest to really see who comes out on top. But yeah, look, the Warriors just need to show mongrel. They need to really dig in and dig their heels in hard and really compete here. So they can do that, and I think they'll push the Broncos here in the forward pack. In the battle of the forward pack. So that's where the Warriors need to win the most, is around the middle. Okay, on to number 2 now, and this is, I guess, another one that really is crucial for the Warriors to keep the impact of the Broncos very low. And I believe this is one that is pretty obvious, I think, and obviously, yeah, many people would expect me to say this because that's the biggest, I guess, point of keeping the Broncos quiet. It's to reduce Adam Reynolds' impacts, and obviously, yeah, Reynolds is the big, the big, I guess, leader in that team that really does this, direct and does everything for that club. But yeah, seriously, I think the forwards as well, they need to really put kick pressure on Adam Reynolds, because Reynolds has a great kicking game. He can kick from his left and right foot, and he knows where to plant the ball on the last tackle, right? And obviously, when Reynolds does a great kick and finds a great sort of point to kick the ball on the last tackle, it just seems like they seem to defend really well in a corner. And I think that's where he kicks more to, the corners of Adam Reynolds, and that's where the Broncos sort of bunch up and pack up and bash out the team at the end of the field and keep them quiet at that corner of the ground. So, look, the best pressure the Warriors can give is just, the best pressure is the worthy ones of just trying to charge down his kicks, either that or just like, don't give him much thought to know where to kick, because I think with Reynolds, he thinks before he kicks, and I think he knows where to find the ball and where to find his kick target. And I think the Warriors need to put him in a couple of different minds and make him confused on where to what to do or where to kick. And I think the Warriors can do that. And they just need to trouble those key players. Like I said before, Haas and Carrigan need to be quiet and keep their offloads and their impact low. But with Reynolds, it's like if you shut Reynolds down, I think the Broncos are definitely a 50% different team, I feel like. So if you shut Reynolds down, they're different for sure, I reckon. But yeah, look, I think it's Reynolds and Mam. I think the halves are just the big ones that need to stop as well, because Mam has a dangerous running game, and obviously, yeah, when he runs and takes on the line, Mam, it's very difficult to catch him or tackle him because he's so, I guess, skillful in that sort of way. But it's more Adam Reynolds that need to stop. It's Reynolds, because he has been the big part. I think he's been the biggest part on why they've come well this year. I know Walsh has done a great job as a coach, and a few other players that deserve a mention too. But I think when you look at Reno and what he's done for the Broncos this year, I think he's really stood up and has shown his leadership skills and why he's still a top halfback in today's game. So yeah, look, the Warriors need trouble him. They need to really put him in a lot of different minds, and need to sort of put him off. And I think, yeah, if you put Reynolds off, I don't think Mam or Walsh can step up in these big moments. I mean, Walsh can, because he can find a line, but see, without Reynolds, I think Walsh even loses his impact and loses what he has to do, because they play with so much good structure. They're the Broncos, and no Reynolds, and I think Walsh struggles to find space and find the line break he does make with Reynolds in that team. And see, with all due respect, if there was no Reynolds, I don't think Billy Walters would be a guy that stands up and does much. He's improved a lot, but he's not a game-changing player or a big-name player in a crucial moment like a finals game, which they're playing on this Saturday. And Ezra, man, he's no organiser. He's a great running player, and he plays off the cuff, really. Not a structured player like Reynolds. He's a more off the cuff sort of player, Ezra Mam. But yeah, see, if he didn't have Reynolds for a full year, I think he'd struggle. So yeah, the Warriors just need to trouble Reynolds and really put him off his game, and just also watch where he's going, and somehow stop him from making the kick that he wants to make towards the corner. And I think that should be alright. That's a really big one for me, is stopping Reynolds' impact in the game. And on to the third and final one now, the biggest one for me, the biggest one yet. It's funny because, I think everyone was, waiting to see when Reece, Walsh and the Warriors would face to face again, because, after he left the Warriors, some fans were filthy about it and not happy about it, but some were understanding and were like, he's moving back to Brisbane for his family. He's got a young daughter, and he's got a young family as well, and it was probably a best family decision at the end of the day for him to go back to Brisbane and stay there instead of going with the Warriors to New Zealand full time, which is fair enough, I feel like. But after all that time he spent at the Warriors, now he's going to play the Broncos. Oh, sorry, he's going to play the Warriors now again. But yeah, it's not in a regular season match. It's taken until September for the Warriors and the Broncos to face with Walsh playing, because they didn't play each other this year with Walsh because he was on Origin duty at the time. Didn't come to Napia to play. But yeah, now Walsh and the Warriors face again, and geez, wow, it's big, isn't it? It really is big, actually, when you think about it. But yeah, I think the biggest thing with Walsh is that he knows how to create space. Now, I just said before, I know Reynolds gives him a good platform to get the ball out to his outside men to create line breaks and create opportunities for them, the centers and wingers. But you know, Walsh is like man, plays off the cuff and plays what's in front of him, and he's a confidence player. And, you know, I know, and probably the good thing for the Warriors is, if I'm being honest, and it may not affect Walsh at all, but because Walsh is first in his former club for the first time in a prelim final, and because Walsh is so young and he's never been in this atmosphere before, you know, it could get to his head. It really could. Playing the Warriors for the first time, the actual club he made his debut at, and playing in a prelim final, one win away from the grand final, that could really play on Walsh's mind. You never know. You never know. I doubt it would, but just saying, those things can happen. But yeah, look, the thing is, I think with Walsh, whenever he has the ball, he'll either run left or run right with speed. And I think it's pretty important to chop him down and just race up on him, because I think if you give him too much time, he'll either find a hole that you've left, or he'll catch you out offside, and then he'll just exploit that and run through the hole that you've made, and he'll just play and see the speed that he can burn through that hole that you've left, and your defense gets exposed after. And you know, I think yeah, well, it's been proven this year, hasn't it? It's been proven that Walsh knows how to make a line break at any stage of the game. He's a dangerous player in terms of that, and you know, it's pretty important that the defense is sticking well together, especially the 5'8" from the back row and the halfback in the back row. So T. Murray Martin and I'm pretty sure these two, it might be the other way around, but I think T. Murray Martin and Jackson Ford and Sean Johnson and Moroni Okoro, could be the other way around though. But yeah, they've got to watch out. They've got to defend and watch out, because I think that's where he runs through the most, is through the back rowers and the halves, where he squeezes through with speed and gets through the line. So yeah, look, Warriors' defence on the edges needs to be good, and I think they've got some good defenders there. Like Adam Pompey's improved his defence this year a lot and has come a long way, and I think he's improved a lot as a player as well. Rocco Berry has gotten a lot of criticism, but he's starting to find his own this year, I feel like. So, you know, the Warriors should be on in defence, I reckon, but it's just about watching what Walsh can do, because he's a very unpredictable player with excitement. He's an excitement machine, whether you believe it or not. So, yeah, it's really up to the Warriors to really keep him quiet and don't give him the room to roam, because once you give him the room to roam, I think it's pretty hard to stop his momentum from there, because he'll be confident, right? He'll be confident because he knows he can, you know, run around and find his space to run. So don't give him that time. Like I said, shut down the forwards. You know, if Haas and Carrigan, Ricky, and I guess Broncos forward pack are all quiet in general, then Walsh won't have much to create much on the back of, because he really gets his momentum off the good runs and the offloads of the Broncos forwards, like I said. So it's any impact that the Broncos forwards or Walsh can make out of nowhere, it's where the Warriors need to stop and really keep it quiet. But if the Warriors can do all those three things, it's pretty you know, helpful for them, I think, for Saturday. I reckon that's what I've noticed about the Broncos this year. That's their strength, but can be the weakness too, if an opposition can trouble them. And I think the Warriors can really do that. But what do you think? Can the Warriors cause the upset? Can the Wars do it? Or do you think the Broncos will be too good come Saturday? Let me know in the comment section down below. But everyone, that's how I think the Warriors can beat the Broncos on Saturday. Now, I am tipping the Broncos, unfortunately, for the Wars fans that are watching. But a real ambush is possible, and I really think it is possible. I think that the Broncos, you know, they can really, you know, choke on a big stage, I think. So it wouldn't shock me if they did, but I can't see it happening. But the Warriors, all the best, seriously. I know the Warriors fans are all travelling to Brisbane to watch this game. I love how Air New Zealand has made that promotion of the Wire Express now. So shout out to Air New Zealand for doing that. But yeah, no, look, hopefully the Warriors have a good game and hopefully they can push the Broncos all the way. But thank you for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, go the Wires.